How much should you spend on Twitter ads or social media ads in general? Before we get into figuring out like what this number is gonna be for you, let me put it into context in this way. If every time you gave me $1, I gave you back $2, and I said you can do this as many times as you want, how much money would you give me? Obviously, you would give me as much money as you possibly can every single second that you can. And that's essentially what you want to happen when you're running ads on Twitter. So it's not a question of how much should you spend. As long as you're in profit, you want to spend as much money as you possibly can. All right, so what you're paying for when you're paying for ads on Twitter or any type of social media platform is for your ads to be shown to specific people. So when you do your targeting and all this different stuff with your demographics, what you're actually paying for is for your ad to be shown on their platform. Now, there's a bunch of factors that come into play when asking the question of how much is it gonna cost for your content, your ad to be shown to the different groups of people. But the main two things are gonna be who you're targeting and the content that you show these people that you're targeting. Another major factor that comes into play with how much it's gonna cost for your ads is what your overall objective is. Sometimes people just want to have their content seen by people. So maybe it's a video they want to share, they want a bunch of people to see it and to share and to engage. Sometimes people just want other people to go to their website. Maybe they have a bunch of different blogs or articles or whatever it is that they want people to get off of the Twitter platform onto a different website. And for the most part, a lot of people, when they're getting into ads, they want to have some type of profitable campaign. So they're going to try to drive conversions, basically meaning they want the users to take some type of action after seeing the ad. So this could be a lead, this could be a purchase, this could be a sign up for some type of newsletter or whatever it is. These are the different type of ads that you have. So it's going to be a little bit cheaper to have your ads seen to people when you're just getting video views, but you're not necessarily looking for profit. So when you're looking for profit, it's going to be cheaper to get those leads or purchases, but it's going to be a bit more expensive to show it to more people. All right, and now to tackle the question of how much should you actually be spending on Twitter ads or social media ads, it comes to your goal. What is your actual goal of running these ads? Like I said, maybe you just have a video that you want to be shown to people. If this is the case, most likely you have a budget and you can just spend that entire budget on the different campaigns or a single campaign that you have. But for the most part, people that are running ads, people that are in business, try to be in profit. So when you're first starting out, if you want to have a budget to test with, I always recommend, like, let's say your product is $100. $100 should be the budget that you first start to test with. So within that first $100 that you spend on ads, you should hopefully get at least one sale in there, and that way you will pretty much break even. I know there's other costs when it comes to maybe different softwares that you're using and different services that you have to pay for every month, but if we're just looking at plain and simple, if you spend $100, you should be able to get $100 back. And that's what I would suggest to test with. So obviously you're gonna have your different prices. So whatever your price is, that's what I suggest that you test to start running your ads on Twitter or any other social media platform. Now, before you get to that mark of your price point, let's say we're sticking to the $100 price point. Before you spend $100, there's a few things that you can look at to see if your campaign is working or not. So let's say you have an ad, and maybe after people click off of the ad, they are sent to some type of freebie. So maybe it's a free ebook or something like that. And then you send them to a video that explains whatever your product is. So let's say it takes maybe 10 people to come through as a lead before someone actually buys something. So if we divide that $100 divided by 10 people, that's $10 that we can afford to pay per person that signs up for our freebie, whatever it is. So that means if every 10 people that become a lead become a purchase, that means we can spend $10 per lead. So what we're doing is we're dividing the price, the $100 price, divided by that 10, the amount of people it takes that are leads to become a purchase, and that's where we get the $10. So we can essentially afford to pay $10 per lead. Now, if we take it a step further, we can say, all right, how much can we afford to pay per lead? So maybe to pay per click, sorry. So maybe out of every 10 people that land on our page, they actually put in their email and become a lead. So that means we want to take that $10 and divide that by 10, and that equals $1. So that essentially means we can pay $1 per click and break even. Based on the averages, obviously it's not going to be the same every single time, but based on our averages, we can afford to pay $1 per click. And this is what you can look at when you're looking at your ads, when you're looking at your campaigns. You can say, all right, so even before I spend $10, if I'm paying $5 per click, I'm most likely not going to be able to break even because everything else is going to be more expensive down the line. That means the leads are going to be more expensive, and then obviously the sales are going to be more expensive. So once you kind of have these numbers and have enough data to analyze, this is the type of numbers you can look at, and this is how you can essentially know how much you can spend on your ads. I hope this wasn't too complicated. I didn't want to use too many different things, but this is just the basics when it comes to spending, when it comes to Twitter ads and any type of social media ads. Once again, I'll continue to do these videos. I hope you enjoyed this. So if you're watching on Facebook, just make sure you give me a like. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so the next time I do a video like this about Twitter ads and social media ads, you'll be the first one to know. All right, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Page.